everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, and tonight I am finally getting the wave mown down in place. Now I'm super disappointed in myself. I did not get the barley harvested. The birds ate it, so it wasn't for a waste, but I was really hoping to harvest this barley to be able to brew beer with, and was just out of town and it didn't work out. So the main thing here is I'm not going to let all of this great biomass go to waste. So what I used to do is, cut all of this down and haul it to a compost pile that I never use because I don't have a front end loader and I'm not turning compost piles by hand because I do this for fun. And if you've ever turned a compost pile, you know it's actually not fun at all. And I am instead going to let all this biomass get composted in place. And this has really been a game changer for me doing seasonal change outs because it's so much less effort. So I'm going to take a push mower and I'm literally going to mow it in place. And then when I get back from my next trip, I will get the next round of seeds put in, get it mulched for the summer season, and it will all grow in place as all of this barley straw breaks down, adding essential organic matter, which ultimately will help the soil biome so that I don't have to fertilize this bed. And that's really the key for here. I want to balance, the plants I grow with a level of sustainability that makes it feel like what I'm doing is a positive contribution. And the mow in place approach has been a game changer for how I go about managing all of the square footage here on our property in central North Carolina, Zone 7. So I know I time-lapsed that, but it didn't take long, like maybe under 5 minutes. The bed is clean, the compost is in place, all of it will decompose. Remember, all of these are annuals, so none of those roots are gonna grow back. All those roots are actually gonna act as amazing rototillers that will decompose in place, drawing nutrients up from deep below the soil surface. That's why grains are so valuable. Now, you might wonder, what if there was still seed involved here? And there usually is. In fact, what I'm going to show you next is likely going to be a self-sowing nightmare. But in the case of this barley bed, there's very limited amounts of seed that were still there because the birds really did their job and ate all the barley seed. But here in North Carolina, it's too hot for barley to grow through the summer. So even if some does germinate, it won't persist. It won't really be able to establish itself. So it's not really any issue with being potentially invasive. Now, in contrast to that, I'm going to take you to my foundation landscape where I've been harvesting a massive amount of seed for sowing next fall, but I certainly haven't harvested it all. And I've made the decision while it's dry and it's not 20 billion degrees in this current moment, but I'm gonna get it mown down so when I come back from this next trip that I leave on tomorrow, I will have a blank slate and I'll get it finally planted for summer, because I am feeling very anxious that I haven't gotten some of these really big beds planted by now. And part of it's been travel, part of it's been weather related. And so let me take you over to the foundation bed, which a month ago was in its full glory, and show you what the reality is when you grow a pallet of plants from seed, what they look like when you actually have to let them fully dry out to be able to harvest ripe seed for the next season. Okay, here we are. No glamour shots. This is utter chaos in my mind. I cannot stand it. I am totally freaked out. I cannot leave the house with it looking this way. So it's got to get dealt with. And you can see in here I've got a lot of lettuce that doesn't actually have ripe seed. I'm tired of waiting for it to ripen. I am mowing it down. I have not gathered every single poppy head. I have not gathered every single cilantro seed. I have certainly not even come near gathering every bachelor button or larkspur for that matter. What I am prepared to do is, if I have a massive amount of seed that starts to germinate, I'm prepared to come in and you know, weed it early. None of this stuff lives through the heat of the summer here in North Carolina, Zone 7. So I'm not terribly concerned that that'll be a problem, and frankly, by mowing it like this, there's a strong possibility that all this will self-sow and grow for me, and I won't need to scatter any seeds this fall. Time will tell. But for as beautiful as it was, it's definitely reached a point of being outrageously ugly, and I can't stand it for one more second. So I'm gonna take that lawnmower and I'm gonna chop it up, give myself the satisfaction that none of this biomass is being wasted. It is all gonna be used to break down in place, add organic matter, and feed my soil biome so that the next round of plants will be fertilized naturally. Well, 5 minutes ago, I could not stand here with ease. This to me is probably the biggest game changer for gardening that I've ever experienced. I started doing this, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and it's totally transformed my approach to land management. I highly recommend it. And by the way, those of you who want to make a comment about my outfit, anything you do in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt and tennis shoes can also be done in a really comfortable, lightweight dress and my favorite gardening shoes, Charleston Shoe Company. So don't judge until you tried it, okay? Nothing wrong with me wearing a dress that goes into the washing machine just like anything else. I hope that I will empower lots of other people out there to just be who you are, garden the way you want, and wear the clothes that you feel comfortable in. And nobody needs to make a comment about it at all because your opinions aren't needed, okay? Remember, only type nice things. Life is too short to be a meanie putting terrible things into comments on YouTube. We all have better things to do with our time. Well, I am super stoked to get this replanted. Hopefully in just a few days when I get back in town, I would like to give you a sneak peek into some of the things that I'm going to be planting here. I'll give you a hint. I'm going with a lush tropical theme. So let's head back to my greenhouse so you can see what I have in store to go in the ground. Well, welcome to the jungle, quite literally. I've moved a lot of things into the greenhouse to make watering easier while I'm away. Got these Colocasia Thailand giants just waiting to go into the ground. A really beautiful variegated banana, a whole bunch of dahlias that have already started blooming. I'm not gonna put the mums in that bed. They're gonna go somewhere else. Lots of tomatoes. Tomatoes that already have fruit. They're just so desperate to get out of these tiny pots and into the ground. Tons of peppers, an edge of onions, more dahlias. These came from Floret Flower. I grew these from seed. More peppers here, some squash, some hibiscus. I'm even going to put in an Asian sassafras. So I'm really excited to get this front foundation replanted. I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do in the wave. The Prunus Mume is still there taunting me. Well, I hope this video will inspire you to use a push mower, mow down some of your beds so that you can reinvent the space just like I do. Remember, this is a great strategy when growing annuals, but I actually do this in the fall after frost on a lot of my perennial plants, including mums and salvia and phlox. So using the mower is actually to your advantage to help let all that biomass decompose right where you grew it. Now, if you found this video to be helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Be sure to hit the bell notification so you'll know when I post a new video. And as always, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I can't wait to show you what this looks like once it gets planted.